Hi everyone, welcome to Karen from tillycrafts.co.uk. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator, and today I'm bringing you my Exploding Hexagonal Box. This is the box, as you can see. It's got a lid on, and you move the lid and out pops the first layer. I'm just going to try and move this up a little bit, see if you can see it a bit better. Right, and then you move the second lid and it comes out like that, and the third lid, the third layer. So I learned how to do this and I practiced and I made a black and white one, which I was quite chuffed with. So I thought I'll do a project to show you a 3D hexagonal box that explodes. For this one I have used very delightful DSP. It was in the celebration and unfortunately it's no longer available, but I've done it in current projects as well. I'm just going to move that to one side and I'll show you how I created it. Right, let's come down a little bit. Yeah, that's not too wobbly for you. Right, so for this one I'm using this lovely DSP from the Hydrangea Hill suite. This is more about the box, how I constructed it, and like obviously the designer series paper I've used on it. We'll talk about decorations later on. Now I did look on YouTube because I had no idea how to start making one, so I had a look on YouTube and I saw NJ Papercrafts, and they had a time-lapse video on how to make a hexagonal box. Unfortunately their smallest box is my biggest box, so I had to work out the sizes for the other ones, but I'm going to show you how we make the big box because I've already pre-prepared the other boxes because it's the same principle. And I'll have all the measurements on my blog for you. So to make the big box, I got a piece of 12 by 12 in basic white, and you will also need a compass, a ruler, a set square, a rubber, a pair of snips, and I will show you how we started. Now I have done one on the other side ready for you, but I'm going to show you how to do it. It's just because I can't get my head over the top, so I might go a bit skew with, but I've got one that's perfect on the other side. So it's all about the radius of a circle to get a hexagonal box. So for this one I'm using a 10cm radius. So you get your pencil in your compass and you put it on the lines and mark out your radius. So that's my 10cm radius. I did try it with one of the plastic compasses and it kept slipping. This is a lot better. It doesn't slip as much, but we'll see. What I did to get the centre of my page, I put this in my trimmer and I just marked, because this is 12 by 12, I just marked the 6-inch spot in the middle so that I've got an even gap all the way around. So basically you just draw your circle. It might not show up that good, but let's see. Go and get me head in it. Well, let's go. You have to be careful because if you push it, you can go off score, but that has done perfect. I don't know if you can see that or not on there, but that's I'll just come down a bit. Can you see the circle? It's not that dark, but yeah, you can just see it. So you've done your 10cm radius, you've drawn a circle, and the next thing you're going to do is not move the compass, pick a point on the edge, and you're going to mark it like this all the way around. to get your sides and your lines for your hexagonal shape. And in theory, this one should match that. Hey, we're bang on track. I don't like the light on this. I'm really sorry. It's we'll just move that down a bit. Right. Hopefully that's a bit better. What I'm going to do is, because I've already got one cut out, I'll do this one in a darker colour so that you can see it properly. Just let me grab my pen, if I can find it. There it is. And I'll try this one. So I'll just go over that so you can see it. So these are my cross lines on the edge of the circle. So that's my cross line on the edge of the circle. And what you're going to do now, and you do this in pencil because you can rub the lines out, but you're just basically going to join up these 2 points here and here. And like I said, I'll just do it in this dark colour so you can actually see it, but you do it in pencil. So you just match all the lines up like so. This is why I'm only doing one box, because it does take a bit of concentration. But the thing is, if you like doing this, you cut yourself out a stencil so that you don't have to keep doing, you know, doing your circle and that. Apologies if you can see the top of my head. It's not a nice lockdown look. But that's your first point. So as you can see, we've joined those points up, and that's made our hexagonal. And then you'd go in and you'd rub out your pencil marks. And then what I did from there is you can either use, depending on if you're good with scissors, or you can use a trimmer, and I trimmed it all out. So this was my first one. So that's going to form the base. I also cut out another one. This is going to be the layer for my lid, and some DSP, which is going to be a layer, and I'll show you how we layered them up afterwards. But that's my first bit. And like I say, if you cut it out, I originally cut mine out in paper. Oops. So I've already got that now. If I ever want to make another one, I've got a template. So cut one of those out, but then you'd need another one to make the lid. So this is I found this a bit tricky till I'd done it a couple of times. And like I said, I'm going to do it in pen, but you'd normally do it in pencil. It's just so that you can see it while I'm doing it. You need a little set square, and I found a set square good, and I'll show you why in a minute. Now for the big lid, we're marking it at 5 centimetres. And I'm lining it up, making sure my black line's level, and marking it up on there. And I'm going round and doing this on all sides. Like so. I just think it's a lovely box for any sort of gift, whether it's a special occasion or it's just to cheer somebody up, get well gift and stuff like that. And I just think it's worth the effort. And once you've got the template, then you're halfway there. I think the worst thing is doing the circle. When I made my first one, I think it took me about 3 attempts to actually get my circle right, because I kept putting me, like I said, I had a dodgy compass at first, one that didn't hold like the metal ones do. So I ended up doing about 3, and then I got it how I wanted it. So let's bring this one down here, like so. And then when you've got those, you're joining your 2 dots up with a ruler. And this is why, like, if you're doing it in pencil, you can rub it out afterwards when you're finished, like so. A little bit off on that one. So you're just making sure that they're parallel when you're doing it. It's just easier for you to see if I do it in black. So there we go, and so that is our hexagonal lid. This is the shape we're going to need. Now the next thing you're doing, this is why I said it's good with one of these see-through set rulers. This is 5 centimeters, and we want to do a perpendicular line all the way across. I think it's perpendicular line, and what you need to do right from the corner to the side, so you can line it up to make sure it's straight and both your lines are on the other lines. I know mine's a little bit off because I can't see what we're doing. So you want it on there. So you're going to do this all the way around, remembering to keep it straight across, because like if you went like that it would be off, so you need to keep it straight. Don't worry, there's no point on here because we'll be losing that anyway. So you see how I'm going there and it's not right, so you need to make sure it's straight across. Right. So you get the idea. Like I said, I have got a template I've prepared to put on my website, so you can look at that and write measurements down from it. And I've got the measurements of the other boxes. See, my line was a bit off the dot, you can tell, because that should have been over, but this is only just to show you so you've got the idea. Right, that's like that. See, not going straight again. This is how you learn, because I did that wrong on my very first one I did. I was like, why does that not look right? And then when I realised, I was like, ah, that's why. So that's it. So when you've done that, find my lid to the pen. When you've done that, what you need to do is actually cut round the solid lines at the end, and then you've got it. And I've already pre-cut one out, so we didn't have to waste time. And as you can see, again, I've not got the point on there, but that doesn't matter, because you're going to take your snips and you're going to cut straight across at the corners, like so. Once you've done a couple of these, if you really like them, it doesn't take that long, because when I did my second box, it didn't take me as long as the first box. So that's all done. Now the next thing you need to do is you need to score. So you need some surface to score on. You can do it in your trimmer, but I found it better doing it like this. So you need to just take your ruler, and what we're going to do is we're just going to score from that point to that point, and try not to press on too hard, like I've done. It's just so that when you fold it, it's got a bit of bend in it. It's better when you can get your head over the top, because you can actually see what you're doing then. But you'll forgive me for the purpose of this. So once you've got your score lines in, you can then rub out your pencil lines. I've gone all the way around. And then you want to score one on each side. So I'll do that one, move it round, do this one, move it round again, and do this one all the way round. And move it round. Did we do that one? No, we didn't do that one. So we just need to do this one. Yeah, we did that one. Right, so that's all done. And then you want to take your snips and your score lines on this side. So you want to cut straight up the corner in. I'll just do that again. Straight up the corner to the middle so it's straight, because that's what's going to give you your box edge. I'm just making sure I've got the corner point where I've gone to. God, my hands are shaking. Right, so now we've done all that, we can take our rubber and you just go over. So you can do these in any colour. I quite like the effect of the white lids on the coloured boxes. So, but you can make it in any colour. I was debating, but I haven't got. I'm waiting on an order for some 12 by 12 coloured paper, because then I'll probably do one in a full colour as well. But at the minute, we're doing white lids. So it is quite simple, and like I say, at least you can pause the video and follow each step. And like I said, I'll put some visuals on my blog and the measurements. Alright, so move that out. And it does, I have gone on a little bit harder so you could see it. So when you're doing it, you could do it very lightly. I might have gone through the paper just a little bit there. Oops, missed one. There we go. Yes, I went through. What I'll do is I'll make a new box lid after this, but we'll carry on with this for now. Right, so that's your box lid ready to fold, but what I'm going to do first is I'm going to put the lid, the base together, because I want it to just dry a little bit while we're doing the lid. So that's your lid. We've already cut out our base, and also what you need is 6 sides. Now these are what I've got to put on my blog for you, so it shows you the cut lines, but if you're following along to the video it'll be easier. So this has a radius of 10 centimeters. So what we need now for the side panels, we need 10 by 10, but we also need a lip so we can score it to stick it on. So this is 10 centimeters by 11.5, and it's scored at 1.5 centimeters. It's a bit weird for me this, because I usually do everything in inches. So I'm just folding all these over, and it's up to you which glue you want to use. You can use tear and tape, you can use stamp and seal. I've been using Tombow because it's just a bit quicker for the videos. And so you put it on there, and then you just line that up and give it a rub, and you do this all the way around. Oops. I must admit I've quite enjoyed doing this, because I normally just do cards, but I thought, why not, let's do some 3D. But now I've done this one, I'm thinking, oh, I can do a square, an exploding square. So I think that might be one of my next projects when I've had a play. And it gives you a chance to use all your DSP up as well, which I have piles knocking around. push that in. There we go. So it's quite easy to put all bits together. I think it's the initial measuring of everything. But even with the lid, you can always make yourself a template for the lid, so you don't have to measure that out. All I did when I made my lids is I used my template. Drew around my template, and then I measured these lines out and these lines, so I didn't have to like get the compass out and draw it all again. Right, so that is how you put your base together. And next we're going to add some DSP, and this measures my brain's gone to sleep. This measures 9.5 by 9.5. I'm used to doing inches, you see. See, that side's quite nice as well, but I really like that. So that's what I've gone for. That's the problem when you get DSP, that you like both sides of it. So, and then these just get adhered all the way around. This is why I've done the other two boxes already, because I just thought you won't want to sit and watch me do all three boxes, because I haven't worked out how to time-lapse things yet. That'll be next on my list of things to teach myself. I love the purples in this. Oops, I thought there was one missing then. When I made the inner lid, I lost some of my squares and had to recut some. And I know after I've done this video I'll probably find them. Right. There we go. So that's your basis done. Now, depending on what you're going to be putting in these, you can always cut another one and reinforce it with the back at the back, so it gives it a bit more strength. It just depends what you're using it for and what you're going to put in it. Now, like I said, I've already done the others. So this is my middle layer, and the radius for this is 8 centimeters. So this is built off of an 8 centimeter radius. These are 8 by 9.5, again scored at 1.5 and stuck on, and then the DSP is 7.5 squared, so that's going to go on there. And then the little one, the radius is 6 centimeters, so these are 6 by 7.5 scored at 1.5 centimeters, and these little ones are 5.5 centimeters squared. So what we're going to do now, just before I do the lid, is add some DSP. Add some DSP, have you heard me? Add some Tombow even. I love Tombow. And then I'm just off centering it so that they will open in the middle. And again, the same with the blue one. And the reason I just wanted to get these done is because I'm just going to add a couple of heavy punches just to give it that extra push to set it while we're making the lid, like so. So that'll keep them nice. Excuse me. Right, let's just move these to one side. Let them set for a little bit, and we'll bring our lid back in. So all you need to do now is just burnish the edge. I will remake this lid actually off camera because with me not getting my head in, I don't think I've cut it straight, but at least you'll get the idea. Best thing to do with these is just to take it slow when you're doing it. So they're all done, and the next just fold these in. Like so. And bring out the tombow again. Love this tombow. I think it's good because you can move it if you don't get it quite straight, I think. So I just hold it together. And you should just give it a quick rub. Like so. I'm just conscious, I don't like people to be on a long time just watching me. I like to be able to show you what I've got, and then, mind you, there's one thing, at least you can, if you're watching it when I posted it, you can fast forward it through the bits where I'm doing, like sticking all the things down the same. This is just a bit of a tricky one to get the glue on, just have to carefully. Like so. There we go. Job's a good one. Quite chuffed with that. So there is our lid. Now I'll bring in my layers. So like I said, I've cut another. When I've which I've not done on here. Just let me just double check. What I normally do is when I cut these out, I'll get my pencil and I've put an arrow on there, and then I'll just put a little arrow like this so I know which way it's up. So I've cut one out exactly the same in the card, so that will go on there like that, but I'm going to trim it. Then I cut another one out in the DSP, and again I want it to go the same way. So that's it. So all I did to trim these down, I mean, you might find a better way than me. Can you see that on there? So this middle, in the trimmer on the middle here, it's got the centimetres. So I took it to 1/2 centimetre, and this is the bit I might struggle with because I can't get my head over it, but you need to just try and make sure that's level, which it's not. There we go, that's a bit better. So you just take off 6 sides. Oops, that moved a little bit. But like I say, when you're at home, you can make sure that's bob on, or you can measure it again. It's entirely up to you. But I just found this was the quickest way to do it for me. We'll see if it's level, because when I put it on it might be a little bit skew-iffy. Oops. So that's my first layer to go on my box, like so. And then for this one, I just went up to 1 centimetre. Oops, it popped out. That was a bit skew-iff, so this might go on skew-iffy. See, so now I can match my arrows up. Oh, it's not too bad. Right, fabulous. Let's get on with this. So, I'm just going to... See, that's nice, that side as well. But I'll stick with my original plan. I do have an idea of who this box is going to, so, but I'm not going to say. And then we just marry up our arrows. Like so. And again, bring this in, marry up the arrows, and I don't think that's a bad one. Just turn it over, give it a rub. Fabulous. Chuff with that. Right, next you need to bring your pierce mat back in, put it upside down. I've got to take your pick tool, but any piercing tool will be great. And then I basically went from corner to corner, so that's 20, corner to corner, went in about the 10. That looks about right. So I'm just basically poking a hole in here. Let's push it back through that way. If you have a bigger block that you could get it all over, you can always poke it through from that way. And I've used this beautiful gorgeous grape sheer ribbon to make my little pulley tag. I mean, you could do all sorts. I've thought about doing like a paper bow. That would look nice on top, and you can decorate them with all sorts. Alright, I'm just pushing this through. Oops. This is a bit tricky as well. But when you've got it started, yes, pair of tweezers, and give it a little tug. Typical, isn't it? The one you do on camera doesn't pull through. There we go. So then I just pull it down to how big I want the little tag to be. Bob a knot on it. And then pair of scissors and chop it off. And last thing is just take your rubber and rub your arrow out. I'm not too worried about that because I would cover it with something. I mean, you could do all sorts. On this one, which I'm not doing today, but I'm thinking about having some hearts on it. Can have a little label of who it's for and some hearts and some flowers, but today was more about how we make the box. So I'm just going to bring back in the other boxes now. And in good Blue Peter fashion, I've already made the lids to these ones. It's the same principle. So I've made another 3 lids. So the large box is a 10cm radius. The lid is a depth of 5cm. And the side panels are 10 by 11.5, scored at 1.5. Box 2 is a radius of 8cm, and the lid has a 4cm depth. Side panels are 8 by 9.5cm, scored at 1.5. And box 3 is a radius of 6cm. The lid has a depth of 3cm. The side panels are 6 by 7.5, scored at 1.5, and I think that's it. So this will go on my blog, but I've got like a little diagram. So box 1, 2, 3, it's the same principle for everything. And I've lost my other sheet already. Well, there is another, oh there he is. So I've just basically drawn, this is the small one actually, so I've drawn one, so your radius is A, so on here you've got little A's, your depth for your box line is B, and these are your cut lines. So these ones are all be scored, and these ones are your cut lines. So you'd cut those little bits off first, you'd cut that one, and that one's scored. So I hope they will be useful to you, but I'm just going to pop this all together so you can see it together. So you just fold up your lids, but you see you can take it however far you want to take it. On here you can stamp images, you could cut out die cuts, you could put little squares to write messages in, you could put photographs in. There's just so much you could do with them. I just wanted to show you the principle of how I made one though. So you've got you can see it all together, and it is, I mean, I've gone over my normal half an hour, which I don't mind. It's just I don't like people to get bored watching. And then you just get all your lids in, all your sides in even, would help, wouldn't it? Oops. And there you go, voila. So there's our box. So the measurement for this, it's 10 centimetres high and it's about 20 centimetres across. Am I right? Let me just check. Yes, 20 centimetres across, and then the boxes go down in 2 centimetres, so it'd be 20, 18 and 16, the boxes. Where was my other one that I did? So I did exactly the same on the other one, using the berry blessings, and I've got like the layers again the same, and I used the whisper, the white ribbon. I can't remember what it's called. I've got it here. No, on my black and white box I used this ribbon, which is quite nice to pull through, but on this one I've used the metallic edged ribbon, silver metallic edged, yes, because there is a gold one too. So I really hope you've enjoyed this video tutorial today, and I hope you can join me again soon. Thank you very much. Speak to you soon.